with regards to the way the Canadian Armed Forces Transition Group, Veterans Affairs Canada, and Military Family Services are looking at their people and families is along 7 domains of well-being. And those domains are the health domain, their finances, sense of purpose, so things like employment would fit in sense of purpose, social integration, their life skills and preparedness, their housing and physical environment, and their culture and social environment. So as people move through the transition process, the goal is to make sure that they're looked after on all of those domains of well-being, and that when they are looking at each domain, each person has kind of a personalized plan and goals to reach to attain wellness in each domain. It's a big step forward because it's a common well-being framework across multiple organizations. So that means when the CAF is talking to VAC or MFS, we can all refer to the domains of well-being framework as the common guiding model that ensures the way we look after our people and their families is the same. The other reason that this is important is because it breaks the culture of viewing people as numbers, and it really does put the person at the center of the processes that we're putting in place to support them and ensure that they're looked after in a holistic way. In terms of how we kind of measure success when it comes to each domain of well-being, there's a variety of indicators that we use. We look for sort of subjective, how does a person feel on each domain, but we'll also look for some markers. For example, if we look at purpose, we may look at an employment rate as an example to demonstrate that, okay, there's not a significant gap in terms of how many veterans are able to find employment as one example. So we try to make sure that we have both subjective and objective measures of well-being on each domain.
They got to be aware that there are basically 3 main components to well-being, and that is being physical, mental, and social. Results from cross-sectional studies and longitudinal studies, experimental studies as well, have seen that there's a major association between self-perceived health, longevity, health barriers, mental and physical illness, social connectedness and productivity, and factors of physical and social environments that are all at play here. And you can break down those 3 components into the 7 domains of well-being that mentioned by Major Camarda before. But keep in mind that it's very important to have a good balance between those 3 components. Because if one of those components takes more place into your life, then it will cause an imbalance, and health issues will follow after that. It's been demonstrated through studies, and it's very important.
John McKay is one of your new patients. He's been suffering from severe pain in his lower back for 3 years. During the consultation with you, John stated that he served for 32 years in the Canadian Armed Forces in the infantry and was released 6 months ago for medical reasons as a result of chronic lower back pain, which severely reduces his mobility. At the time of release from the Canadian Armed Forces, John purchased a house for the first time. He had previously lived in housing provided and maintained by the Canadian Armed Forces. Upon moving to his new property, John found out that his house required significant renovations. Because of his physical limitations, he feels he will not be able to perform the required renovations by himself, and the only alternative will be contracting the work to be done. John indicated that these unexpected expenses will put him and his wife in a precarious financial situation. His uncontrolled back pain that prevents him from conducting the renovations himself, combined with the financial ramifications associated with the high cost of contracting, have generated a significant amount of stress. This is causing a great deal of anxiety for John, who has recently developed insomnia. In your opinion, as John's family physician, what are the aspects of well-being that need to be addressed?